Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Today we're going to take a look at Global Agenda. This is a free-to-play, sci-fi based MMORPG with a lot of third-person shooter aspects to go along with it. And it's one of the few sci-fi games, so far at least, that has migrated from pay-to-play to free-to-play. Now we're seeing a big move in a lot of games moving to free-to-play, and that just shows that they are seeing the value in free-to-play. And I think we're all going to benefit from that as gamers and players of all different genres. We're going to be able to check these games out and stuff like that. It's really, I think, a concept that's catching on with a lot of these pay-to-play guys. Now, obviously, you're never going to see something like a WoW who has oodles of subscribers. But anyways, I digress, and let's move on. You can see I have played this game a little bit. I've got a robotics guide to level 11. We're going to go ahead and go through the character creation process so you guys can see what that's all about. So you see you do have the robotics character, which by using the latest technology available, the robotics agent is able to defend strategic points with turrets, force fields, and stuff like that. You've got the medic, which is your basic healer. You've got recon, which is stealth and speed, kind of your sniper type character, and then you have your assault character, which is your tank or your heavy weapons type character. And you can see there's no gender lock. You can play either gender for either character type. I'm going to go ahead and go with an assault character. So let's go to the customization. What's really weird about the customization, and I think the customization in the game is done well, is you see you have all these different head styles. They're kind of like presets, I guess you could say. So let's go with that one. But even when you move on to next, then you can even randomize this, or not necessarily, you can randomize it, but you can also define this down even a little bit more. So you can see here we can pick from a bunch of different hairstyles and things like that, and you know, you could change the hair color and all that different stuff. But it's really interesting that, to me at least, that you not only have the basics, but then you also have these additional slider bars that I guess you can use to customize it even that much more. So let's move on. Let's go ahead and click play. And would you like to play or skip the introduction mission? Normally I would play this for you guys, but there's a lot of cutscenes and a lot of stuff that really takes away from me being able to show you things about the gameplay. So I'm going to actually skip it, and hopefully that will jump us right into the main city. Now when you go through the tutorial, which that essentially is you're given all of the basics, and you're walked through, you know, WA, S, and D to move around, spacebar to jump, spacebar, you also use your jetpack, which we're not going to be able to see right now because inside the city you're not able to use a jetpack. But let's see if we can blow through this and actually get outside so I can show you guys the jetpack. We're going to go ahead and complete this, and as you could maybe saw, let's continue, and we've earned the following awards. Let's finish, go speak with Ava Lockhart, let's pick that up. So that's your basic quest pickup system, and as you can see, we do have this mission tracked. You can see that over to the right hand side. We'll use L to bring up, this is our it's funny that they call this our mission log, because it really is our quest log. And the reason I say that it's funny that they call it the mission log is because you do have these additional missions. I'm going to go through these real quick. You can see here you've got the special ops mission, which you can do from levels 5 to 19, and you have different ones. And then you can see they each have different level constraints, I guess you could say. Maximum security requires level 25, ultra max security level 30, double agent requires level 30, and this is a 6-player. And these are all PvE missions. You'll go in as a group, go after a final goal and usually a boss at the end. The nice thing about doing these missions, they're great EXP, they're great money, and you can also earn a lot of items. Not only items that you can use on your character, but also items that you can use for crafting. And one thing about this game is the crafting plays a big part in the game as you create modifications for your weapons and the things that you find, and you really can kind of trick out all of your weapons, all of your armor, all those different types of things. Then you have the mercenaries, as you can see here, max team of 3, also PvE style and stuff like that. And you've got different types. And when you join this, see, I can't do it because I'm not level 10 yet. You can unclick these different ones if you only want to do certain kinds. Then you've got raids, which is a larger team base where you've got much bigger groups that are going after the raids. Then the arena, which is pit your 4-man team against another player-created team in arena-style combat. One thing about this game is it's really heavy on the PvP side of things. Even this, let's go back to that real quick. You can see AVA, which is agency versus agency. These are much larger PvP battles, and there's tons of different rewards that you can get out of those things. So they're really, all these different little things are really worth playing. Now you do have your central hub. What's really nice about this is, let's say we go to the central hub for Dome City here, and we're going to go ahead and hit U, and we want to know where something is. So we want to know where crafting is. So let's go to. Now you can see on the ground, it actually creates this little arrow that will lead us exactly where we need to go. Now we're not going to go there right now, but I just wanted to show you guys that because it's a really neat feature for getting around and being able to see where you need to go, especially when you're trying to find something. And the city's pretty simply designed. It's basically just a giant loop. Let me see if I can bring up the local map. No, I can't actually bring up the local map, but it's essentially just a big circle, I guess you could say. So let's talk to her. Price of Liberty, let's complete that. Continue, finish, and then we're going to go talk to Simon Larange, and then let's pick up this other quest. Now this is nice because it basically is a quest that they want us to win 3 medium security special ops missions. So on top of doing those special ops missions and getting the rewards out of it, if we complete 3 of them, we will be able to have additional rewards for that. So as you can see, we don't have any of our weapons and armor equipped. This is our equipment screen. Let's actually keep running while we equip that. So each section, you got melee, then you got ranged, then you got specialty, which is our minigun, then you've got our jetpack. What's really nice about this is you got a hands-free jetpack that they give you early on. You're going to be able to fly around without having to switch. Then offhand, let's go with our grenades in that one. Let's go with perfect target, and then our range shield, which blocks a few things. Then you have boost and consume, which you pick up later on. You get different armor, which is your really basic armor, and as you get different, there's greens and blue and purple items, which essentially as those go up, you know, you've got common, uncommon, rare, and then your like epic type items. These are our skills, which you can see you've got 3 different skill trees that you can place skills in. Your balance, which every character type gets, and then these 2 essentially define your character as far as what type of guy you want to be. Then you've got your stats screen, which shows you your basics of like your level, your combat rating, how many credits you have, things like that. Then you got your inventory, and as you pick items up, whether it be armor or weapons or things like these metal scraps and nanofiber, which these are for crafting, these will all go in here. And the armor and stuff like that, as you get different ones, you're going to be able to salvage. And when you salvage those items, you actually get things that you can then use to craft. Really cool system. Excuse me. Really cool system. And it really helps out as you're creating different items and different modifications for your items. They've got a huge achievement system, and as you can see, there's tons of different achievements, both PvP, PvE, agency versus agency, and then for each individual class, and then your general. So let's find this last guy that we have to turn our quest into, and we actually, he's in sight here. Let's go talk to this guy real quick. Special assignment. So let's go next. Continue. Let's finish that. And as you can see here, we got chest armor, we got a green item, and you can see the bonuses plus 0.5% to max health. So let's get that. Take your scan data to Bancroft. All right, and then it looks like he has another quest for us, a matter of skill. Next, access the neural reprogramming station to train a skill. So here's something that's really kind of neat. So here you go. You use U to open this neural programming system. We do have 1 point to allocate. I'm going to go ahead and put it in here, plus 4 protection physical. But what's really nice about this is we can actually reset this at any time. And then depending upon the type of game that you're going to play, you may want to be a destroyer, or you may want to be a tank, or you may want to be more balanced. But you can reset the talents at any time. So it's kind of cool to be able to have that luxury of being able to reset those talents anytime you want. And it gives you great ability to just test things out, try things out, see what you like. Alright, so let's cruise down and talk to this guy over here, and I believe after we talk to him we should be able to head outside, show you guys some of the stuff that's going on out there, and show you the ability to use our jetpack. But anytime you want to bring up the party screen, you just use P. I'm not the party screen, sorry, your skill and your profile, you just use P. The game does have an auction house, so anytime you're looking for materials or different things like that, you can go ahead and check out the auction house. So there we go, we turn that in, earn the following, 300 experience, and find the scientists in Junktown outside Dome City. Alright, so here's our chance to get outside, and there we go. Now the nice thing is when you're doing these missions inside of this screen right here, you can take and you can queue up for a mission while you're outside here, and while you're doing the quests in the outside kind of quote-unquote persistent world. It's not truly persistent because it is kind of limited. I'll show you the map size once we get out there. So let's see, let's get it loaded up. There we go. So you can see this is the map. So it's not truly persistent because you saw we had to log in and out, but you can see it does give us good denotation where exactly we have to go. And the nice thing is we do see that on our screen. You see that guy's flying around with his jetpack. Might as well follow his lead. And one thing you can see is on the right there, right in the middle of the screen, you can see my my reticle, which essentially allows me to fire. But you can see when I use like my minigun, you can see it going down. You can also see when I use my heat rack or mazer, it's also going down. Or anytime I use my jetpack, we use energy. So you have to conserve that energy to use it only when you need it. And that's kind of can be really tricky sometimes, especially if you're flying around, you're trying to shoot somebody from the air. You have to be really careful because both of those things, flying around and shooting from the air, take up the energy. So there we go. Let's go ahead and complete this. The nice thing with being out here and doing the quests out here while you're waiting between missions is not only do you get different items for being out here and doing these quests. So let's talk to this guy real quick. But you also earn a lot of experience that helps you level up so you can move on to the more powerful missions. And he's going to give us a different weapon, actually green version of what we already have if we complete that quest. Another man's treasure, 3 power casings. Let's accept. And looks like we already have the 3 power casings. So there we go. So we actually completed. And he did give us a headhunter launcher, but we're not going to be able to use that until level 7. But let's finish that quest anyways. Let's roam around here, see if any of these other guys have quests for us. And you can see down in the mini-map in the bottom right hand corner, you can see where different players are. They're the white dots, and then you can see the different directional heading we need to head off in for our quest with the arrow in the right now what would be the top kind of north by northwest, I guess you could say. So let's cruise off in this direction. Let's use our jetpack and let's start to see some combat so you guys can see what that's all about. Combat is really cool. You do, no matter what character you have a lot of different not necessarily skills, but different items, because they don't necessarily use skills, but they use items. Actually, speaking of items, we did get a couple of items that we want to equip, didn't we? So we got this, where is it? So there we go. We got the minigun. We've got this one, but we did get another item. We actually got a piece of armor. I believe it was for our chest. So there it is. So you can see this one is just 10% max health, and this one gives a little bit of an extra bonus. So while we're getting shot at, let's go ahead and switch guns and fire away. You can see most of the time these guys stand still. And the nice thing is you see acquired metal scrap. So you don't have to run up and loot these individual guys. You just go ahead and you just kind of cruise out here and start firing away and take them out. And let's see if we can find some more of these guys. It looks like there's some other players out here doing the same quest. That's one thing that I've been really impressed with, is so far there's been a ton of players playing the game. And a ton of people that we've seen around. Now they do have both the free agent and then I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's basically the difference between free players and pay-to-play players. Because like I said, this game was a pay-to-play game and it did go free-to-play. So they did kind of keep things separated, not necessarily separated. I mean, you're playing the same game, but you can see when like you complete missions, different things like that the pay-to-play players actually have additional bonuses that they get when they complete missions. So it's kind of nice that the game continued to reward those players that did pay for subscriptions. And you know what? I'm sure that they'll convert a bunch of the free-to-play players over to the subscription base just because they'll want to have access to those additional items and not necessarily pay for them in the cash shop. Let's show you guys the minigun. It takes a little bit to warm up, but once it does do quite a bit of damage, but it is not very accurate. So we're going to fly away real quick, and then we'll use our rest sequence. Now you can still move around. You can see that's healing. You just use R. Every character has it, but the one thing is your power level does not regenerate when you use this healing. So I either have to do one of two things. Either I have to use my melee weapon, or I have to wait until it's done healing me before I can start regenerating the energy, so I can either fly around or shoot my melee weapon. I either have to use that, or I have to just wait until it cools down, and then I can start using my jetpacks or my energy guns and stuff like that. But as you can see, graphically, the game is really well done. I can also tell you that the cutscenes are also very well done, especially when you're going through the tutorial. The voice acting, there's a ton of voice acting, whether it be the different player characters, the different NPCs, the non-player characters, or it be the in the cutscenes, things like that. So as you can see, we did complete that quest, and we did get an even better version of the gun that we have right now. So there we go. We got that quest completed. So let's bring up our profile and change out our ranged weapon, because that one does have an additional 4% range damage, and you know, it never hurts to do a little bit more damage. But that's a lot of the things that the modifications will do for you when you mod your items out. Either you get more health, or you get more damage out of your weapons, or more armor, things like that. So let's pick up this guy's quest, locate Yuri, accept. Let's cruise around, see what else he has for us. Now, one thing the game doesn't have is it doesn't have just background music constantly playing. And, you know, to be honest with you, I'm actually okay with that. Sometimes I think the background music takes away from it, but it does have some stuff, some music stuff going on at different times when it's more appropriate. So, finish that, get the accept on that one. And, you know what, let's queue up for a mission, see if we can get into that real quick before we have to go. Let's do a team mission and join, so you guys can see exactly how that works. So we've got to pick up a couple quests from these guys, and while we're queued up, there we go. We'll pick up these, and let's accept. And it looks like this will go pretty quick. As you can see, I've got a bunch of guys that are higher level, and they'll help us run through it pretty quick. So each of these are its own individual instance, and there's different ones. So you have to, the different maps, you have to kind of learn the different maps and stuff like that as you're going along. So let's go ahead and change out weapons. And where are the rest of these? There they go. It's taking them a few seconds for them to load up. So as you can see, we're going to cruise out. We're going to start taking out some of these bad guys over here. We also have to take out these EMP field generators. So let's get a little bit closer so we can actually hit them. And I don't know, I suspect that it is, because I've noticed that when I've been playing, that when I have lower level characters in the in my group, that the monsters don't, or not, I say monsters, but they're more, you can see they're more soldiers and stuff like that. So let's see, where the heck are the rest of these guys? One guy already died, and you can see in the top right hand corner that there's team deaths and there's a challenge bonus. So the challenge bonus is to have everybody live essentially, or only die once, or have no one, a combined total of deaths only be 4. So I'm actually going to throw this grenade, and let's see what happens. See if we get lucky. Let's take out this field generator that's actually sucking away all my energy. Take this guy out. But as you cruise along in these maps, you'll pick up different items. Like I said, you actually get a lot of different items that are essentially for crafting when you're in here. You do occasionally get items that are used for you know, armor and weapons and stuff. Like, I'm saying armor weapons, like actually equipable armor and weapons. You do get a bunch of those a lot, but not, I wouldn't say a lot, but rarely you get them, and they are very usable. But the majority of the time, you actually get a lot of, and this is a more powerful guy running at one of our guys, swinging this giant mace. Let's see if we can take him out. There we go. We got him down, and we got another one coming at us. A little bit more powerful captain. So I do think that the individual missions are actually catered to the levels of the characters or the players in your party. Maybe one of you guys who actually knows the answer to that can clarify in the comments section. So let's continue forward, and you can see this is one of the cool things, this autocannon set up by a robotics guy. It's really cool. Those things, when set up in the right spot, they can be really useful. They also have shields that they can use to take and to protect the entire group. And he gets essentially set up a shield right here, and everything that shoots at us in front of the shield. Let's see if we can throw this and hit somebody. Take him out. So I'm actually hurt a little bit, so I'm going to rest up here, and let these guys move forward. Maybe wait a little bit for a couple of the guys that that we have behind us. Now, when you die, you do respawn, and then there are checkpoints that you can get as you're going through the mission, and then you're able to move forward to those spawn points, which is kind of nice. So you don't have to run the entire length of this mission. Let's actually switch over to the minigun, and we're actually getting shot at from behind. Doing a little bit more damage. And you can see the damage numbers coming off the top of this guy. Come on out. Where did he go? There we go. So we got some xenoplasty for that. And then you use shift to crouch down, be able to avoid different things. And so there, that guy finally caught up with us. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. And if you'd like to play or learn more about Global Agenda, you can read the full review at MMOden.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.